Hello, this is Evangelist Dr. Robert L. McKim Sr. from Carrollton, Ohio. Yesterday, on the Jim Baker Show, Rick Wiles was talking to a nurse at a hospital down there in Florida where he lives at when his wife was in the hospital. And this was like 3 weeks before the guy claiming to be a part of ISIS went into that Pulse nightclub and killed and injured all those people. So we've had warning signs, but nobody was paying attention. Nobody was willing to report the warning signs, according to Rick Wiles and what he heard. People, we need to wake up before it's too late. Because I believe, well, I'm going to play this, then I'll tell you what I believe.
This morning, I was reading 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with the work of Satan, displayed in all kinds of counterfeit miracles, signs, and wonders. This is what I'm worried about. Deception comes in the last days. People are going to be deceived. He said there'll be a church in the last days that has a form, but not the real church. There's going to be a fake church that people will believe something that's not true. It says it'll display all kinds of counterfeit miracles, signs, wonders, and every sort of evil that deceiveth those who are perishing. They are perishing because they refuse to love the truth and to be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. That's where we are right now. Don't you just sit back and say, why are they believing this? You watch the news, you say, why are they believing this? You're watching the political system, you say, why? Why can't they see? Why can't somebody see when somebody comes and kills 49 people and then they say, I'm a part of ISIS? They call up why they're killing and slaughtering. I am wanting to make sure we give the credit to ISIS and to the head of ISIS. And then we say, no, this must be something else. This can't be ISIS. We have a war that we even deny what war we're in and who's against us. It said that God will send them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. It is, we better get into the Word, and you better find out what the Revelation has to say, because we're there.
That's right.
And most people don't want to admit they're there.
The disciples asked Jesus, what will be the signs of your coming and the end of the age? The very first words out of his mouth are, let no man deceive you. That was the first thing he said. Be on guard, and you will not be deceived. And now we're in this age of deception. And the things that you're talking about, the blindness of government leaders, and of saying we don't know why a terrorist just killed 50 people. We don't know what his motives were. There can only be two explanations. Either the government leaders are complicit and they're helping this to happen, or God has blinded their eyes and they are being set up for the slaughter.
we started talking about a hospital in Orlando. Was it?
Vero Beach, my
No,
hometown.
I don't know why I keep saying Orlando. Well, and you
Here's
met
what
a
happened.
nurse, so you went from a nurse.
And I know the nurse, and she listens to True News. My wife Susan was in the Vero Beach Hospital about 3 weeks ago. She had kidney stones, and the kidney stones were blocked, and she got an infection in her blood. They called in an infectious disease doctor, and I'm like, this is getting really serious. And so then they were giving her an intravenous antibiotics, and so it was very serious for a couple of days. And so Susan was hospitalized, and one evening when I left the hospital, I was standing out, going to my car, and I saw this nurse that I know, and she listens to True News, and she started talking to me. Now, mind you, this is 3 weeks before the Orlando shooting. And she said, Rick, I got to tell you something. She said, another nurse told me yesterday that she saw 3 Middle Eastern men outside of the emergency room doors photographing the ER. And I'm like, are you serious? Did she tell anybody? She goes, no, she didn't tell anybody. She just told me. And I said, no, you need to go tell her to report this to hospital security, and they need to report it to police right away. She said, all right, I'll tell her. She goes, well, let me tell you, there's something else. She said, another nurse at the Sebastian Hospital, Sebastian, Florida. This is 15 miles north of Vero Beach. Small town. Little town on the river. Just a little fishing town, okay? Great little town. Little small hospital. A phone call came in. The nurse took the call, and an unidentified person asked, I need to know, what is the maximum number of mass casualties your hospital could handle? And so when I heard that, I said to this nurse, I got a bad feeling here that somebody is planning an attack on local hospitals. And I don't know why I blurted this out of my mouth. I said, do you know what would happen if they had an ambulance packed with explosives, lights flashing, an ambulance driving towards the emergency room at a high rate of speed, lights flashing? Who would stop the ambulance? Nobody. They drive right through the doors of the hospital and blow up the emergency room, kill the doctors, kill the nurses, destroy all of the equipment, and then start a killing spree in the city. Where do you take the wounded?
Okay, I stopped it there because of the fact I didn't want to play too much of what he was saying, because I want to be able to talk as well and add my belief in what is really going on. Is that these people so he had said something that also after this that they were planning to blow up hospitals, but I think that they actually want to do some more mass killings. They want to do some more mass killings, possibly explosions like they did yesterday over in Turkey at the Istanbul airport. Run in with suicide vests and guns. Someplace, maybe some fair or some because they don't have metal detectors. They don't pat you down at fairs. Some other nightclub, some outside event or inside event. Just go in and run in and start shooting. And when, the authorities start shooting back, then they blow themselves up with anybody and everybody around them. people in Florida need to, wake up. That's not paradise anymore. And we are not living in paradise here on earth yet. Paradise hasn't come to earth yet. The New Jerusalem hasn't come to earth yet. We're still living in the old, wicked, sinful world. And Christians will be going through tribulation. Because tribulation only means troubled times. It doesn't mean great wrath. The great wrath, or the wrath of God, doesn't come until, of course, after the Christians are raptured. But the rapture doesn't come until sometime in the middle of the tribulation. I believe that actually we're in the beginnings of tribulation. We are not totally in the tribulation yet. So I don't know exactly when the 3.5 years will start. No one knows the hour, the day, or the hour. But the short of the long is that we need to be on our guard as Christians. We need to read God's Word and be not deceived by false preachers and false doctrines that's been floating around for over 100 years now. A lot of them call themselves Baptists. Little goody two-shoe Christians think that there's nothing bad that's going to happen. And even some other Christians out there, other denominations, have taught the lie and its deception of John Nelson Darby, that there's going to be a pre-tribulation rapture. Hyper-dispensationalism, or dispensationalism of any form, is not the gospel of Jesus Christ or God's Word. Get right with God before it's too late, because there's more coming. Like yesterday in Istanbul, Turkey, here to supposedly innocent citizens of the United States. And yes, our liberal government is complacent. They're allowing this to happen for a reason. Not going to get into that. Anyhow, long story short, get right with God before it's too late. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No one goes to the Father but by and only through Him. God bless you. Have a blessed day.